He didn't know how much Iode had drunk, but he was stumbling up the stairs. That alone would have been enough to piss Eugene off, but Iode wasn't alone in his climb.
He's not just playing around with night demons, he's even getting carried by demons?
Eugene checked the direction Iode and his unknown companions were heading in. He started following Iode.
But where are they going?
After they had passed several blocks, still supporting Iode on their shoulders, the group entered a particular building that didn't have any signage. After confirming that everyone had entered without leaving anyone outside, Eugene walked closer to the building.
Hey kid, you're in the wrong neighborhood. This isn't some kind of store, so get lost.
Then what kind of place is this?
Didn't I tell you to get lost? Do you think that we have the time to joke with a brat like you?
It does sound like you are a joke.
Eugene pulled on the arm that was clutching his collar. This pulled the man's forward, bringing it in reach for a swing of Eugene's fist. Before the man could even finish speaking, he had already lost consciousness.
You crazy bastard. What the hell do you think you're doing?
I will kill you!
Now then, why don't you tell me what goes on in there? Oh, they are all unconscious. Instead of listening to you, it should be faster and simpler to just take a look inside by myself.
With a sharp kick, Eugene broke the lock off the door. While this caused the door to swing open and Eugene entered without any hesitation. It was hard to see in front of him as the whole floor had been filled with a thick cloud of smoke. It numbed his senses and caused his vision to go slightly dizzy. So this must be opium.
I can understand needing a place where he could catch his breath, but this is going way too far. Just the dreams from a succubus alone were enough to weaken and ruin his mind, but if he was huffing drugs in an opium den on top of that, he was practically drilling holes in his brain.
Who are you? How did you get in here? There should have been guards outside.
Wow, a human, beast folk, and demon folk getting along and doing drugs together. That's racial harmony at its finest. If guys like you were born 300 years ago, the world might have been able to hold our hands together in love and peace.
What the hell is this bastard talking about? Get him!
Eugene created a few magic missiles and sent them piercing through the smoke.
Where is EOD?
Gah.
You don't need to tell me. I can just look for him myself.
A fierce breeze engulfed Winneed. A sylph summoned by Eugene was actually able to create a gust so strong that it suddenly scattered. Gusts of wind blowing in all directions scattered the smoke and smashed open all the walls and tightly locked doors on this floor. He had scattered a number of sylphs along with the gusts of wind, and they were now blowing through the entire building. They soon told him where he needed to go, the 3rd level. There was only one room at the end of this hallway, which meant Iode had to be in that room. Without even opening the door, someone inside the room attacked Eugene by casting a spell that burst through the door. Eugene pulled out the fragment of the moonlight sword that he had bought at the auction house. The spell was split into dozens of strands that swept across the surrounding walls. What an astounding performance. The moonlight sword's characteristics could still be seen from this small fragment.
If you had hit me with that attack just now, the power could have killed me.
The spell he had cast had already revealed his identity as a black wizard. He had cast that spell with a resolve to kill, but it had somehow been blocked using some unknown method. Had this intruder used magic just now? But how had he never heard of a defensive spell with such an effect?
Who are you?
Escaping from reality through a dream made by a succubus was pathetic but understandable. However, Iode had crossed the line this time. Drugs were already a step too far, but he was even consorting with a fucking bastard who used black magic.
Don't get involved with black magic.
Gilead had even given Eugene a stern warning about such conduct before he left for Aroth, but what did Gilead's real son think he was doing, paling around with someone who could even be called Vermouth's enemy?
Get out of the way. If you run away now, I won't have to try and catch you.
I already thought you were a cheeky brat, but that's... Do you even realize where you are now and in whose presence you're behaving so rudely? Kill him!
The demon folk who had been supporting Iode on the way here from the restaurant. The stars around his heart began to resonate as white flames flared up to cover Eugene's body.
Come at me.
The two demons directly threw themselves at Eugene. In the next moment, Eugene took a step forward. The wind wrapped around his sword exploded. Blood spurted out from the chest of the demon who had rushed closest to Eugene. The second demon lengthened its fingernails into blade-like claws and swiftly slashed at Eugene. The demon's arm was completely severed at the wrist before it could even complete its swing. The demon didn't even get a chance to scream in pain. Having already gotten into reach, Eugene's hand grabbed the demon by its face. With this grip, Eugene smashed the demon's head through the wall.
This is insane. That was the Lionheart main family's White Flame formula? Might you be Sir Eugene Lionheart?
Get out of the way.
Nah, now hold on a moment. Allow me to explain the situation.
Eugene had no intention of listening to his story. The Black Mage cast a spell in an attempt to kill Eugene, but how could he have imagined that his last-ditch effort could be cut through so easily? Eugene narrowed the distance between them in an instant. I'm going to die, or at least, that's what the Black Wizard thought. Eugene's sword stopped right in front of the Black Wizard's throat.
Stay still.
Unable to gulp out of fear that this would cause his throat to be sliced open, the Black Wizard trembled nervously. Iode was still intoxicated from all the alcohol and drugs he had taken. There laid a bowl containing a grotesquely jiggling mass of flesh.
Could that be what I think it is?
That's a unicorn's heart.
Unicorns were monsters with such strong mana and divine power that they were called divine beasts. If it was meant to be used as a sacrifice, then a unicorn's heart was much more valuable than a human's.
Is the other party a demon king?
How could someone like myself arrange a contract with one of the demon kings? It's Baron Ulfer of Helmuth.
And just who is that bastard?
He is an incubus who serves under Duchess Giabella.
Noir Giabella was the queen of the night demons. Helmuth was a country ruled over jointly by the demon kings of incarceration and destruction.
So what you're saying is, this damned bastard was about to sign a contract with a mere servant of Noir Giabella, an incubus who is nothing more than a baron? Is that what you're saying? So he was planning to offer up the heart of a unicorn, while out of his mind on drugs and alcohol. Have I got all that right?
It was Sir Iode's desire. I was only listening to Sir Iode's request. Sir Iode was also the one who gave me the money to purchase the heart of a unicorn. I just listened to Sir Iode's request. I mean his order.
Of course, you couldn't refuse him. After all, you must have been so excited. That idiot is still the eldest son of the Lionheart clan's direct line. On top of giving you money, he even wanted to make a contract with your master. If it had all worked out as planned, your strength would have increased greatly thanks to that fucking bastard named Ulfer. If the deal had been struck, you might even have been able to negotiate a contract with that bitch Noir. You were willing to arrange this contract because you were also greedy for the results. So don't push all the blame onto others and keep your mouth shut if you want to live.
The killing intent that Eugene was exuding was far too ferocious and frightening for him to dare open his mouth anytime soon. Eugene turned his gaze away from the Black Wizard to look at Iode, who was still lying on his back, eyes half open, and with drool dripping from his slack-jawed mouth.
This son of a bitch.
The heavy blow, which was loaded with all of Eugene's emotions, woke Iode up from the haze of alcohol and drugs that had been clouding his mind.
Have you come to your senses yet?
Brother,